Je voudrais du soleil vert, des dentelles et des thés.
The fifth commandment implores us to honor our father and mother. But what if they don't honor us? As the old adage goes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Welcome back to another episode of the Slip Ups. My name is Gael, and I am joined here with...
Hi, my name is Reina.
Lana, Kianne.
And today, in this episode, we are going to be talking about family relationships.
Yes!
I'm not so happy for that. I'm joking. Anyways, so we're going to be taking a deep dive into families and how they affect us as adolescents, right? As Filipinos, because we here are all Filipinos.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
No, she's not.
You're not Filipino?
I'm half Japanese.
Well,
We
I
have-
didn't say pure Filipino. Anyways, we live in the Philippines, right? And here in the
How do you know?
Philippines, because it says on the map. The Philippines says, sorry, my God. Filipino culture, in Filipino culture, we value our families a lot. It's baked into our traditions and whatnot. So like, for example, right, the mano po, right?
Yes.
Or when we give respect to our elders. So it's part of society's expectations that we honor or we respect our family, right? So we're really tight knit. But then there are some cases where people or children are getting abused, neglected, and etc. Right?
Like a forced
Everyone-
menopause.
Forced menopause.
No, menopause.
Sorry,
They're
not
forced to respect.
forced to respect. Yeah, sometimes right, grandfathers or like, sorry, not grandfathers, but like old people, right? They demand respect even though sometimes they're not respectful enough in turn, right? So there are a lot of times when they're like entitled to that. Everyone or all children deserves a parent, but not all parents deserve a child. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because every family is dysfunctional, right? Every family is dysfunctional, not to the point of like abuse, right? Not every family is abusive, yeah, duh. But no family is perfect, you know.
Yes, true.
There was this line from Anna Karenina.
What's that?
The first line, it's like a novel by Tolstoy. It's a classic book. I've not read it, but the first line,
Tolstoy.
the first line, the first line goes something like, "All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in their own way." So basically, we're all messed up in sorts of ways, but to different degrees, right? Every family is dysfunctional, but not this in the same way, right? So when a family is dysfunctional, they take on different roles, each of the members take on different roles, especially the children, because they're the most affected by that.
It's kind of like structural functionalism.
Oh my gosh, yes. Disciplines in the social sciences, right?
Yes.
Everything has a function, but when our relationships of like the parents, for example, are not so good, right? The child will be greatly affected by that, and there are
Like spanking.
I think there are like four major roles that the child takes.
roles?
It's like the most common.
The hero, the scapegoat, the mascot, and the lost child.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So,
Yeah, we get it.
how about like, since like every family is dysfunctional, right? What do you think you identify with the most? Or before we do that, what are the roles in the first place? Like, what is the golden child? What is the hero?
Why are you asking me?
Okay, no.
Well,
The hero is the one who is doing things goodly.
goodly things,
They're
right?
doing like things that to like make what to like save.
Save the family, like
Family.
fix things, right? Like
Fix
I can fix this, I can fix that. So golden children, most of the time we think of them as like the overachievers, right?
Yeah.
Academic. But sometimes it's like, sometimes it could be like for example, in a struggling family, it could be that the child is the one who's working and doing everything, right? So
Yeah,
that
they're
could also
breadwinner.
be, yeah, right? They're the breadwinner, so they could be the golden child, right? What are the other roles again?
There's the scapegoat.
The scapegoat where they're
They're like the family blames all their misfortunes and problems on that child, even though they didn't do anything wrong. And
How do you know they didn't do anything wrong?
it depends on the situation.
Well, it's like they're the black sheep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
the
the black
black
sheep
sheep.
of the family. And most of the time, they grow up to be resentful and angry.
Well, that could be one of them, right? But another thing is that the scapegoats are also, didn't they say it's they are the most like hardy of them, like the
The emotionally resilient.
yeah, since they're the ones being put through the most when they
Yes.
were a child, so they're the most hurt, but then at the same time they're the most resilient.
They're the most aware of the dysfunctions in the family.
Yeah. And then
Why did you poop me?
and then we also have the lost child.
Ah, that's when they. Have you heard of the Amazing Neverland?
Promise Neverland?
No, the
Oh.
Peter.
Oh, Peter Pan.
Oh, the lost child of the-
yeah, the lost child. Where like they're not really noticed. They're like invisible, right? Or they're introverted. They're invisible. They'd rather avoid conflict.
They tried to be invisible because
Yeah.
they don't want to get caught in those things. You?
So like they isolate themselves, and usually they're the first to move out since
Yes.
they don't want to be in that situation, right?
So they're not really lost. How are they lost?
It's
They-
most like more like lost, as in like the family members don't see them. You know, they're just
Ow!
they're like. Yeah, because like the families, what families are supposed to do, they're supposed to support you, right? They're supposed to guide you somewhere.
They're supposed to see you.
Yeah, they're supposed to see you. If they don't do that, then you're a lost child.
You know, have you seen that like thing from Moomin?
Sorry, Moomin?
Moomin, like the
Oh,
you know the
woman.
invisible girl.
Yeah.
Wherein her parent or like her guardians didn't see her to the point, or like abused her to the point where she became invisible
Oh my
physically.
gosh.
And it was only when the Moomin family like took her in and made her feel at home when she became normal
Visible
again.
again. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, wait, I think I've heard of that. Yeah, that's actually so sad. That's actually
so sad.
but that's really cool. And then we have the last one, the
mascot.
mascot. Yeah. So the mascot uses laughter as a way of like distracting
And
from the
coping.
conflict. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism. Like they don't know how to deal with stuff, so they just use comedy as a way of
Deflecting.
Right? Yeah, it's a deflection, right? They're the life of the party, but also like, you know, they're still hurt inside.
Just think of class clowns in the class.
Yeah,
in
but-
the school, in your classroom.
Right, but sometimes the class clowns, how someone acts in their family, it's not the same as how they act outside, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the times it could also be like the complete opposite, since imagine, for example, someone being a lost child, being introverted within the family, and then in school or in the workplace, they're like the clown, right? They're the extroverted person, because that's when
Clown.
that's when they're finally expressing themselves, or like that's where they're kind of like compensating for how much like how introverted they were.
How
And-
much you repress in the family.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
much you repress being your true self because you don't feel secure and safe to
So-
express yourself.
Yeah, so speaking of yourself, guys,
No,
you know,
what,
yeah.
what roles do you think you guys relate to? Like,
I don't relate to any of those roles. I'm the
Personal-
most functional
you
person.
are not. No one in this
No
room
one is functional. We're all figuring things out.
We among everybody, I don't think we're the functional ones here.
What about you, Kianne? You first.
I think I'm the lost child.
Oh no!
Oh, the lost child.
Where did you go?
Lana. Okay, Lana, how about you?
I think
Do you? What are you thinking, Lana? We can't leave everything
think
silent.
I'd say.
Why?
Ooh.
Sorry.
No, you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. I'd say I would be like the scapegoat.
Oh,
Why?
really?
Maybe, I don't know, cause like it's the one you most. I'm not lost. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
leave. I'm not the mascot.
Okay.
Either the scapegoat or the hero, cause I'm so heroic.
Okay, we'll get into that later. How about you, Reina?
I think I'm a mix of the scapegoat, the lost child, and the hero.
Wow, dame, wow.
Wait, sorry. What?
the hero, the scapegoat, and the lost child.
Damn, that's a
That
lot.
is 3 in 1. That's like my head and shoulders.
What?
3 in 1. Body wash,
The-
conditioner,
What
shampoo.
kind of head and shoulders do you have that you use it on your body?
3 in 1.
You're calling Reina the value pack dysfunctional child?
Have you not used head and shoulders? You can use it on your head and your shoulders.
Stop.
Okay, well,
Okay.
for me,
Okay, Lana.
for me, I could probably be the lost child or the golden child. More on the lost child. Or to be fair, yeah, I don't know. I don't fix their problems.
I don't fix them either.
But you
Yeah.
try to
Oh, yeah.
make up for it.
Yes.
That makes sense, true.
You
It's-
try to-
No, it's just that. Yeah, well, we'll get into that. So, Kianne, why do you think you're the lost child?
I constantly avoid problems.
Louder! Say it again!
Yo, this is why they're the lost child. Okay, constantly avoiding problems. Yeah, that is actually literally lost
Like when you
child.
try to poop, but you don't want.
What?
Like you don't want to poop in the
I
toilet.
don't like arguments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the toilet is so dirty,
Lana,
you don't.
stop.
Okay, how about you, Lana? Sorry, there was a glitch with the mic.
I think that I scapegoat hero because in terms of my family,
Why are you Texan?
oh, that's my coping
Sorry.
mechanism.
Oh, are you also a mascot? Have you considered that? Perhaps you might be a mascot as well.
It's like in the family, I'm the one. At the same time, I'm the one who's the smartest. Wow.
Really?
In terms of like overachiever, I'm the one who does all the housework. I'm the one who studies the most.
Oh. Oh, okay, okay.
So between me and my sister, I mean, and sorry, no shade to my sister if you hear this. I love you.
This is going out to the world.
I'm sorry, but at the same time, scapegoat because they're the ones who get mad at me the most, despite overachieving.
So like you have most of the responsibilities, and it's because of that. Because you have the most responsibilities there, they also blame you since it's kind of technically
Yes.
And
in their eyes your fault.
And because you're the oldest, so you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
take the brunt
Yeah, that
of
makes
the
sense.
No,
responsibility.
but like at the same
You
time,
influence your sibling.
Yeah, you're like the role model.
that's why
Are you okay?
I'm gonna cry.
No, bro. That makes sense. It makes sense that you are taking that kind of role since you're the oldest child. That does play a factor to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Right?
so much.
Reina, how about you?
Watching me.
Wait, which one do I go? Wait.
You can go explain
Which one?
why you are, for example, the lost child.
I feel like I'm the hot in here.
Stop! I'm being serious. It's a bit.
No, it's okay, it's
I'm
okay,
getting
it's okay.
distracted.
No, just answer, just answer.
Personally, I feel like I'm the lost child because like when I was younger, there were so many conflicts happening in my house that I just learned to ignore and like run away from the people who are arguing because I don't want to be subjected to that also. Like especially since my mom is overbearing and like emotionally volatile, so she would take out her anger in front of people even though they're not,
Oh.
they didn't do anything wrong, and I was one of the victims of that because my sisters moved out of the house and I'm the only child in here. And my dad, he's not really attuned with his emotions, so he couldn't help me like cope with my mother's stresses.
Okay.
Help.
That makes sense. So it's like
That makes
that's a kind of like one of those, what do you call those, like defense mechanisms, right? Their mom is displacing it to someone who can't really fight back, and so that's just like goes to show like what the type of factors that goes into a family's dysfunction sometimes. So because of that, like what expectations do we have? Like what expectations are put onto us, guys? Like do you have expectations, Kianne? Like
I don't have.
people don't have
I
expectations.
don't have.
Maybe
Just
just no, but
do well in school.
yeah, that's still an expectation,
That's an
right?
expectation.
Have a good
set on
future.
you.
But
Have a
then-
good future. Go to
Right?
college.
But because
have a
because
job.
you're the last child, right? So you don't really like there's like not too much communication with like the
You're gonna be
expectations,
lost.
stuff like that. Since like you isolate, right? So a lot of the times when for lost children, they might struggle to communicate. I feel like
Yeah.
They're essentially hidden from that expectation.
Like
Yeah.
from my experience, because I tend to like disassociate from the issue. I tend to like repress my emotions and become avoidant, especially when there's conflicts or like the conversation gets deeper. I don't like those.
yeah.
I have a hard time communicating.
Yeah.
Sad.
That
I don't-
reminds me. I forgot to explain my role.
What
Okay.
is your role?
You're the lost.
Yeah, I'm the lost
golden
child, and the golden child. I'll say the golden child only because like I got achievements. I got achievements in
Yeah.
my family and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But then it's not like they're
Nice.
pressuring me to do that. So it's not. I don't really have a feeling of like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to fix the stuff in my house, which is what most like golden childs would think, right?
But it makes you not.
I do get that like fear of failure that all golden childs have. Because golden children, they really don't want to fail. And like the prospect of failing, even just like a bit, it kills them inside, right?
They're in the highest rung of their ladder, and it's a long fall
Yeah.
if they slip up.
What about
Exactly.
silver children?
The lost children, the silver.
Silver.
That's me.
Or
I'm
the
just kidding.
bronze children?
I'm the 9th child.
Really?
What?
No, I'm joking. That's not what I meant. Sorry, the wrong wording. Sorry, I got like mental
like,
gymnastics.
Have you
Sorry.
heard of the Loud House?
No, I don't have that many children. I mean, I don't have that many siblings. I mean, okay. But for the lost child, I would say it's because like I feel alienated in my house. It's not like they're like actively trying to avoid me, but sometimes I just don't feel like I connect well.
Oh, me
Right?
too.
Like sometimes it's like I don't know. I watch them. I watch the family. They're doing their stuff, talking to each other, and they're having fun. But it's just me. It's just like when I watch it, it's like, oh, I don't really know if I fit into that. So I just watch and I avoid the conflict sometimes. People get mad. I just stay in my room and I get anxious because I don't want to get called. Because sometimes, yeah, you know how you said they take it out on other people. Sometimes they do that as well. Our grandfather would be like, he's like kind of like the person in their house who's like the leader, right? Like the
Patriarch.
patriarch, right? But then we have to walk. We're walking around eggshells, walking on eggshells around him, right?
Is he like the traditional kind of man?
Yeah, he like screams and stuff like that. Like it booms and stuff, and
Like that.
he can get angry at like the littlest things for no reason.
Like
And
when someone's a skibbity toilet when no one else is speaking.
wait, what? Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
No, because like when you're interrupting,
Yeah.
like a small interruption to what he was saying, even if it wasn't that.
Yeah,
big of a deal.
or not even that. Or sometimes he's going to assume things, right? That you didn't do, and he's gonna get mad at you for that.
'Cause he
even though
thinks you did.
Yes, that's it.
But he
So-
won't let you speak back.
Exactly. That's why. That's
Yeah.
why you can. That's why it's like, oh, I just rather avoid that and not go and join the conflict or not, right? So what expectations do they have? I guess since us being a golden child, like stuff will be put on your shoulders, right?
Yes.
But then at the same time, if you're also the lost child, like they expect you to grow out of that shell, right? They want you to stop, to connect again, but you just sometimes it doesn't work out, and a lot of these dysfunctions stem from parenting styles as well.
Generational trauma.
Generation trauma. Oh my god.
How your parents were raised by their parents.
Yeah, and how they in turn raise you, right? There are 4 types of parenting styles.
The expectation.
Four. The best one was authoritative, right?
Yes.
Authoritative. That means high warmth, high control. They set your boundaries.
They don't really restrict you from doing.
Yeah.
But then
Wait, no,
But
no.
they're also,
I mean,
they set
restrict.
boundaries, but then they're also like really supportive.
Yes.
High warmth. There's the other side where it's like high warmth but low control. They're permissive parents. They just
Yes.
let you do whatever, but they don't really set guidelines. Anyways, there's also the authoritarian parents. I'd say this is like the second worst because they're like really restrictive. Like they won't let you do.
Absolute maximum. You're like in Alcatraz.
Yeah. It's like you have to follow these set of rules. Like, are you in the home or are you in prison? Like, whoa.
Me
And
when
then there's neglect.
Sorry.
head shake. I got caught off guard
But
by the head shake. You went sideways.
I'm sorry.
And then there's neglectful.
Neglect. Well, we know
Wait, no,
what
you,
that
you
neglect.
forgot about permissive.
We
We literally talked about permissive.
Oh, I
Lana.
wasn't listening.
I'm
sorry. But neglectful, yeah.
Personally, what parenting styles do your parents use on you?
I'd say my parents would probably fall more toward authoritative, as in, it's high warmth, it's high control. Sometimes they can be a bit permissive, yeah, but a lot of the times they know their boundaries, they know what boundaries to set. The thing is, and we'll get to this later, it's not just the parenting styles, there are other factors that go into it. So, but what other parenting styles do you guys experience?
Kianne?
Yeah.
I can go.
I have the same one as Gael, so.
Ooh, oh, yeah, lucky.
Skibbity. That's so Sigma.
I want more Nara.
I feel like... Reina, you want to go first?
Up to you.
Rock, paper, scissors for me.
Because mine is long.
Okay, Lana first.
Lana first.
Yeah, skibbity up. I think it's authoritative. One parent is more authoritative. One is more authoritarian.
Ah, yeah.
Because there's... Oopsie, let me get a bit closer because I'm a bit far now.
Can you get me the orange juice, please? Thank you.
He's obsessed with orange juice.
Okay.
I think because one parent is one of my parents, I'm not gonna say who because he might be here. He might.
He might be here.
No, it's either because one of them is very restrictive. Like they don't allow me to do things, or it's very not as loving, tough love type
Yeah, that makes
parenting. But the other is naman. I mean, they're kind of the same, but then it's more warm, and they don't push that boundary as much. So I think it would fall under authoritative and less than authoritarian.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. How about you, Reina?
Yeah, Reina.
I think my dad falls under permissive and neglectful because instead of like when I was younger, my dad would spend time with me whenever he's like back from Japan, and he would buy me all sorts of things, and that kind of made me a bit spoiled. But then again, you cannot replace love with gifts, so it
yeah.
also made me feel a bit disconnected from him. Plus, there's like a language barrier, so I could not communicate my feelings to him, and he wouldn't understand me either because he doesn't know English.
I love language.
Then my mom, she used to be authoritarian, like
Can I like move my
strictly
glass?
authoritarian because she would be like strict. I remember when I was in grade school, I had to maintain a line of 9 or else my mom would like not talk to me
High five.
for a day.
Oh my.
Like I remember in grade 6, I had like 89 in math and she got mad at me in public. But right now, my mom's like a mix of authoritarian and authoritative. She lets me like, pursue the stuff that I like, but
Ain't bad.
I still feel like, like my mom has like these certain expectations of me because in my family, none of my family members are successful.
So like the expectations due to the others not meeting that are
Yeah.
being put on you
Yeah.
instead.
So that's how it's affecting you. Like there's so much expectations, but then at the same time, they're like restricting you, or you can't get enough of that like warmth that you
Yeah,
need.
especially if you're like the youngest child. They try to protect you from things, but they don't hear you out. They assume that they're giving you what you need, but they're actually not.
But you're the young.
Yeah, I'm the
you're
youngest.
And the youngest. So that makes sense because like there's other factors. Yeah, there's like we said, there are other factors that like play into the dynamics of like how our family is dysfunctional. So a lot of the times it's like it's because it stems mostly from the parenting styles, like as you said, right? You feel like the golden child, the scapegoat, and the lost child because you don't feel the warmth, right? But at the same time, there's so much control that the expectations upon you, it's burdening, right?
Yes.
But then sometimes there are other factors, like you said you're the youngest, right?
Yeah.
You're the youngest, so that changes how it affects you, right? How it affects what you want to pursue and stuff like that. For me, my other factor, so to say it, was that, right? I said my parenting styles are mostly, I would say, excuse me, authoritative, right?
Excuse.
But because they don't live with me, so I can't really like communicate so much with them, right? Because they're I'm like an illegitimate child. I don't know if I was I was born before they were married.
Oh, same.
I was born before they were married, right? And then they like separated. They went off somewhere else, and then they had families, right? So like right now, my mom has a family in like Baguio with her own child, and then like he's my half brother, younger half brother, and then my dad recently went out also to another country with his wife to have his own child as well. So being like you have the parents, you have authoritative parents, the best kind of parenting styles. But then because they're not here with you, like it almost feels like you're being neglected,
You're
right?
being left behind.
Yeah. So like because of that, it affects us, and like it just imprints on our minds. As children, we're like sponges, right?
Yeah.
So whatever environment we were raised up in, that's what we know, and that's what we learn to do, so that's why like sometimes it's hard to feel intimacy, right? It's like we don't know how to connect, or because you were neglected. So for example, you don't really know how to connect with others on a deeper level.
Do you
right?
know the hedgehog's dilemma?
Sonic?
No,
not Sonic.
because hedgehogs are like spiky.
Oh yeah.
When it's cold, they will have a hard time, cuddling together because they will get hurt. You can say the same thing when it comes to intimacy. Like if you struggle with intimacy, you have the fear of getting hurt, of being seen as different.
Oh yes. Yeah, exactly. That's like my fears, right? Because I can't really like rely on my family sometimes, because like they're like wildly different, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just not there at all. So it's hard to like it's hard to not isolate yourself. So yeah, and especially since like adolescence, right? What's Erik Erikson's psychosocial stages? We're in the stage where we fight, or not fight, sorry, but we like figure out who we are, right? And being
Fight the
like
norms.
with our parents, we have to like, we need their guidance, we need their guidance, and we need their support as well, so that we know like what we're supposed to do in life. Because in this stage, as like outlined by Erik Erikson, it's like we're talking about our basic conflict is our identity and role confusion. If we don't succeed, we fail, right? And it affects our entire life. So they need to set us on the right path by being there, being warm, and being supportive. So that's what we need. That's what we need from all families, right?
But it's kind of, I don't know.
But well, Catholic values. I mean, they say that we have to honor our family. We have to honor our mother and father. And even if they do wrong to us, yes, if they do too much wrong, as in like abuse, right? Then it may be fine to cut them off, but it doesn't mean that we have to return that abuse, right?
Where's that limit?
The limit, it depends, because I mean, it's mostly up to you. You can choose not to like cut off, right? In like extreme cases, but most of the time you just have to stop the cycle of hate. You have to stop the cycle of hate. Respect everybody has let's say imago Dei, right?
Yeah, inherent dignity.
Yeah, exactly. So you can also you can suffer, yes, but that doesn't mean that you have to make other people suffer.
But
right?
isn't that a choice? Was it already predetermined for you?
Which one?
Like,
Your nature versus nurture.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah, so that makes sense, right? Like how if you were nurtured in an environment that was hostile to you, will you grow up to be hostile? Well, that's where we get our external support. You know, that's where like therapy or friends come in, right? They will show us, they will help us socialize and like make us learn that sometimes the family or the environment that we grow up with, the water of the womb is not always the ideal, right? Because every family is unhappy, every family is dysfunctional in their own little way. So
We're not strictly limited to love our family. We can also love other people.
Ain't that Sigma? I'm coming to her face.
whoa.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Well, I think that's all time we have today for this podcast. Thank you again. My name is Gael.
I'm Reina.
Yes.
My name is Lana.
Kianne.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're done! Yay!
Elle a su être forte.